Hello beautiful people. So because we have a new group that is joining this coming month, I get a lot of questions that is about admission. Are the letters already out? What is the fee? How do are you required to look like? Can you have long nails? Can you have like dreads on? And I get a lot of questions when it comes to application, like what are the grades that are required, about even where to stay. Should I stay in the hostel? Should I stay in the rentals? And so I just thought of making this an entire video by answering most questions that I get from you guys. And if you're new here, my name is Lesodor, and on this channel I talk about nursing and also talk about my journey through nursing school and my journey through life, and also do vlogs, that is lifestyle vlogs and nursing vlogs. So if that is something you're interested in, make sure that you consider subscribing. So if you have any other question that I haven't like listed here today, you can as always go and find me on any account. Like you can find me on Instagram at Lesodor or Facebook at Lesodor. But also remember, I have a nursing account that is Oduor's Nursing World. So if you want to see more content about nursing that I usually post on Instagram, I post on my account at Oduor's Nursing World, so you can follow me there at Oduor's Nursing World. That is Facebook, TikTok, Instagram and Twitter. So the first question is about the fee. So when you join, they usually require you to pay at least for the entire semester. I remember some people paid for only one semester, but most of us even paid for like the entire year, and then they just forget about it. But before that, they'll require you to pay a certain commitment fee that is 10,000. So many people usually like wonder, is 10,000 that you should, is the 10,000 part of the fee? So yes, when you pay that commitment fee of 10,000, it's usually part of the fee. And if you want to know more about how much money you'll be spending when you're in nursing school, I usually have that video. You can check it out. I'll try link it in the description box about how much is the money that you'll spend whenever you like finish the entire course in nursing school, so that at least you can have a rough estimate of like how much you're going to spend in nursing school. Then number 2 is whether you should stay in the hostels or in the rentals. So when it comes to like accommodation, that is like within you, you should like know why you should be staying in the hostel or in the rentals. Because if you have a situation whereby, let's say you have kids, you cannot stay with them in the hostel. If it really like, if you really have to move in with them, you cannot stay with them in the hostel. You have to find a rental. But if you are a really new student and you can be able to stay in the hostels, I usually recommend students to start by staying in the hostels first. Then after that, after you already know the place and you like feel you're comfortable enough to move and start staying with like other people, you can also start moving to the rentals. Because when you join immediately on that day and you look for a house and you move in, like at times like it can be complicated because you can move in a place that you are never interested in. So like the hostels, like for us, we used to pay like 10,000 the entire year, so you can just pay for like maybe the first semester or the entire year. Then later on you can like try and find like a rental that is more favorable for you, that is more affordable, because at times you might be staying and then realize somewhere else is affordable. So I usually recommend people to first start by staying in the hostels. And if you still want to know more about the difference between staying in the hostels and staying in the rentals, I usually have a video about hostels and rentals. I'll also link that down in the description box. Then number 3 is about like how many intakes do they have in KMTC. So usually have 2 intake, that is March intake and September intake. And for the application, it's usually like a month or 2 before the day of admission. So you have to like you have to be updated to know when the application is out so that you apply. Then when the letters come out, at times it usually varies. Some people get it immediately, some people like get it after a while. But the application and the admission, they usually do for like 2 intakes, that is March and September. And then number 4 is about how you dress and how you look. So they usually expect you to look presentable and to look neat. So when it comes to the male nurses, when you start with the hair, like they require you to have short hair. Like you cannot have dreadlocks. You have short hair that is kept like neatly. And even if you have like a bit longer like mine, you have to like keep on, like when you go for classes and you go for clinicals, you have to comb your hair and then just make it look presentable. Even when it comes to the beard, you have to shave them and like make them short and look presentable. When it comes to ladies, I usually see ladies having dreadlocks, because for them, when they just like style their dreadlocks, it just looks neat. Yeah, so you can have dreadlocks, you can have braids, you can even shave, you can have lines. Like for ladies, the hairstyle is at your own preference, but they usually say don't make it so like excess. Don't do like the blue braids or pink braids. Like you just kind of make it look presentable, because imagine you have pink braids and blue dresses, like even for yourself usually looks so weird. And then also on the rules they usually say, oh, you cannot put on scarves unless it is religious. They say the okorino, the way they put on scarves in their head, and then even scarves in your neck. Like when you go to classes, usually put on uniforms. When you go to classes and clinicals, so for us, we put on blue dresses. For the male, they put on like a shirt, that is a white shirt, and a black trouser and a maroon tie. So they expect you to be putting on like that. You cannot just go to classes with the other civilian clothes, so you have to put on your uniform. And then the other lecturers, like if you watch my previous video, the other lecturers who don't want you to put on like let's say a jacket like this one. It's a black jacket, it's a nice little jacket, but they won't like want you to put on this jacket on top of that blue dress and go to classes. So it also depends. So you can just get yourself a school sweater, so that at times, even especially during exams, you cannot get in this, and at times cold, so you can always get yourself that jacket or a sweater or a blazer or something like that can whenever someone says that you cannot come in with this jacket, you can be putting on that. And then number 5 is about transferring. So if you want to transfer, if you watched my video on how to transfer, I usually have a video on how to transfer. I'll link it down here. So if you watch my video on how to transfer, when it comes to transferring, it's a kind of process. You have to like write a transfer letter. Like it's a kind of process, and most people usually don't get it, but if you transfer, you have to like try and do it as soon as possible. So you go there, they tell you to write a letter, they tell you to wait a certain number of times, then they'll tell you when you get transferred, and your reason has to be legit. So you can check that down on how to like transfer. The other thing is about changing course. Maybe the course you applied is not the one that you're interested in starting. So at first you need, like, you've already applied a certain course. Let's say you already applied nursing and you wanted orthopedics, so you have to like, you already applied in something, but again you have to kind of do it as soon as possible. Like before you even start like the first semester, you should report that you don't want that course and you'd like to change it, so that they can change it as soon as possible, or even you'll end up reapplying for it. And then number 7 is, can you apply for KMTC through the CUSPs? Like you cannot apply through that. If you watch my video on how I got into nursing school, I actually explain my story on joining through CUSPs, and for that you won't be able to join because KMTC requires you to join directly through their portal, and you cannot use any other means to join that college. So you have to join directly through their portal. So if there are other people out here, because I usually hear people telling other guys that I can help you get to KMTC directly, if you're trying to use any other means, then I'm sorry, because you're not going to make it. Like try and use the right portal, that is KMTC portal. And if there's someone who is trying to like make you think that they're going to get you there directly, you're going to get a direct entry, then they're lying, because at times they'll just use the portal and you'll just have the luck of getting there and you think that they've helped you get there. So make sure you use the correct portal, and don't use CUSPs because it messed me up. It's wasted a whole year of my life only because I was trying to use other means. So when you apply directly through KMTC. And then number 8 is something that I think came up recently, like, do you need to upload your documents whenever you're applying? So I noticed like this intake, so many people were worried because whenever they were trying to apply, there's this place that usually required to attach a document. They couldn't do that, but for us, we uploaded documents. So if your application is already successful and they haven't asked you to do something like uploading a document, and you see like there's an X there, then that's okay, because I think it happened to everyone and some people were worried. But I think it's okay because during admission day, usually required to present those documents still. So if your application was successful and then it is like not possible to upload the documents, don't worry about that, because you'll have to like bring the documents with you on the admission day. And then when it comes to the grade that you're supposed to have for you to apply a certain course in KMTC, is that usually depends with the course and also depends with what you're taking. Like in the most diploma courses usually require a minimum grade of C plain, and most certificate courses usually require a C minus or a D plus. So if you want to apply to a certain course and maybe you're not sure about let's say for chemistry, what is it that you're supposed to get in chemistry, mathematics and English, and you're not sure about that, I usually have a certain soft copy. So you can as always ask me, let's say on Instagram or Facebook, or you can send me an email, and then I'll try and give it to you. At least you can check, because I have a certain soft copy that has all the courses, because they cannot start listing them, like starting with orthopedics, nursing, clinical medicine, like it will take an entire video. So I have that. I usually also like have a couple of videos that I've mentioned, like about clinical medicine, nursing, nutrition. I'll also link it down. But for the other courses, you can always DM me on any social media handle and I'll tell you about that. Lastly, number 10 is that if you've applied, or if you're intending to apply, at times you should know that letters usually depend, because I see people like they're so anxious, like I haven't received my letter, everyone is worried. Like the first thing you should do whenever you've applied, try and join these groups like KMTC family. There's this one called Kenya Medical Training College, like it just has the whole name, so you can join such groups. Then whenever like things happen, you are updated, because at times if you even ask someone like me, I'm usually not sure, because like I've already even done in college, so I don't even know when people are being admitted. So you can always join this group, so that whenever people say, oh, like my letter is out, you can like see the comment section and see other people saying, oh, I haven't received mine yet, so that you at least don't be worried. So you can just join these groups and just keep on being updated. And at times like you can find even the KMTC themselves, they've said that the short listing is out, and you can go check your name and such kind of things. Like if you haven't received a letter, I usually also have a video about not having received a letter and what you should be doing next, so you can check that out. But the first thing is just relax and don't panic, because at times it's so stressful. If you already had friends who have received their letters and you're not seeing your letters, at times you should also consider, because it usually comes like if you find different courses, like someone with a different course, they've gotten their letter, or someone who's doing certificate has gotten their letter but you applied for diploma. So stay in this group so that you can be updated, so that whenever people like say they've received the letter, you can know which group you are in, at least, so that you can relieve your anxiety. And at times just patient. At times some people usually take time, but at times it doesn't take so long, because you cannot also just be patient for an entire month. So it also doesn't take like so long. If it like gets so serious, you can go like in the process of calling and going there or doing something, or just like confirming it yourself. But then at times, even if it doesn't come, maybe you are not like accepted. But I'll leave a video about that, about how you can go about that, so you can check all those videos in the description box. And thank you for watching this video. So if you have any question for me, you can like find me on Odwor's Nursing World. That is my nursing account, so you can check me in, DM me in any of those, or just directly to my account at Lois Odwor, and don't forget to follow me. So that's it for today, guys. So I kind of have a certain sore throat, that's why my voice now like today is kind of low, but I'm getting okay. So thank you for watching this video.